All right, everyone's crowding around. Good job. So what we're going to do is we are just going to go through these answers, and we're just going to talk about some answers that we got or answers that we needed to get. And we're going to come up with where we found them and what our answers are. Pretty simple. So the first color that we need, it says here, is blue on our assessment. So let's go ahead and get our blue out. Here it says number 1, Korea is located on a peninsula. What is a peninsula? Well, we already talked about it a couple times. So what is a peninsula? Zayn? A peninsula is a piece of land that is covered by water other than in one part that's connected. Correct. So we get to put our answer down like most of us did, but then we also need to go find where we found that answer. So let's go, before we write anything, let's turn our page over and let's go see where we found that. You guys are more than welcome. You guys can skim. I'm going to skim over to try to find the word peninsula. If you find it before me, make sure you tell me. Oh, found it. Did anyone else find the word peninsula? Yep. All right, so that is line 15 that I found peninsula on. So it's line 15. I'm going to take my blue crayon and I'm just going to underline where I found my answer. And I'm going to write line number 15 right on my paper, just like that. All right, good job. Everyone show me your 15. Perfect. Oh, it looks like everyone here already got the answer right, so you guys don't even have to change anything. All right, next question. We are going to need something red. Go ahead and get out your red crayon. Question number 2. When was Korea divided into 2 parts, North Korea and South Korea? So it's asking when. So maybe we're going to be looking for a date. Maybe we're going to be looking for a time frame. So let's go ahead and flip our page over to our passage and let's look for the word divided or anywhere there might be a date. So I'm going to go ahead and skim. You guys can skim with me. Oh, I see a date, but that's definitely about the Olympics and not about what we're trying to find out. All right, so I found an area where it says many years ago. So they're talking about a time during World War I. So I'm going to go ahead and underline it. The country of Korea divided into 2 parts called North and South Korea. So we found our answer, but now we have to figure out, well, when was it that this happened? It happened many years ago, and it happened at the end of World War II. So what line did we find our answer on? 17. Let's go ahead and make sure that we put our 17 down first so we don't forget. And it says, when was Korea divided into 2 parts? You guys can go ahead and just copy what that sentence was because it tells you. Many years ago at the end of World War II. All right, number 3. How are vegetables pickled? What are some types of vegetables that Koreans pickle? Remember we were talking about pickling these vegetables at the very beginning of our story? So let's go ahead and just look at that very beginning. The first word is kimchi. It's heard in South Korea. Instead of saying cheese for the camera, South Koreans say kimchi. It's a food that is unique to Korea and is made of pickled vegetables. So right there off the bat, we see that we're talking about pickled vegetables. What are some types of vegetables that our Koreans pickle? So what line might we look? All right, in that first paragraph, good job, Zane. It says the most popular pickled vegetables are cucumbers, cabbages, and turnips. You guys can go ahead and just put those answers down. Cucumbers, cabbages, turnips. What line did we find that on? I'm gonna underline it in my red. Oh, and my yellow actually. Go ahead and switch to your yellow when you underline that one. That is line 3, good job. Number 4, what is life like in North Korea? Let's make sure we flip over to our passage. You should start seeing some colors on your text. We are going to move on to purple. Get your purple crayon out. Okay, let's see. Looking for the word North Korea, maybe we're looking for the word life. You guys can skim your passage. We want to figure out what life was like in North Korea. Oh, I see North Korea. All right, so what are some lines? Because there's a lot of lines for this one. I see line 21, good job. Line 22, line 23. All right, good job. So we can pick any of those numbers. I'm gonna pick 21 and write it on our line number. What is life like in North Korea? Let's see. Right, people only speak Korean in North Korea. That's the place with a lot of rules, very strict, good job. Unfriendly, yep, that's a good word because we even used that word whenever we were talking about it on our questions. It's unfriendly. All right, good job. All right, number 5, let's go ahead and get our orange out. What is one main difference between North Korea and South Korea? You want to reuse one? All right, what line do you want to reuse? Line 21. Oh yeah, we can do that. Yeah, if it applies to this one too, let's use it. Line 21. People living in North Korea speak only Korean, while people in South Korea speak both Korean and English. That's a big difference between North and South Korea. If you live in North Korea, then you only speak Korean and you don't get to speak English. All right, good job, guys. All right, our last color we have here is pink. Make sure you get your pink out. It should be very colorful by now. All right, question number 6. What is one unique tradition in South Korea? Let's go ahead and look for the word unique, tradition, South Korea. Let's skim our passage. Oh, I found unique tradition. I'm going to go ahead and underline it. I found unique traditions on line 12. Where did you guys find it? Okay, line 12. Who can tell me what a unique tradition is from South Korea? Right, when you're born, they are already counting you as 1 year old. So that's a good answer that we could have put in there for number 6. And what line is that? Line 12, good job. Make sure you don't forget your line. All right, you could put that you are a year old when you're born. And you can also say that you get to have a great celebration on the 100th day of your life. You can also say that because that's another unique tradition. But that's going to be on a different line. That's going to be on line 14. All right, good job, guys. Go ahead and put up your passages. Let me see all the marks you guys have made. That's awesome. Now we have looked at our passage, we've looked at our questions, we've gone back, we found that evidence. This is what I wanted it to look like when we're taking an assessment and we need to go back. I want that paper to be all marked up, highlighted, underlined, really look and find those answers, because with this informational text, all the answers are right on our story, right? All right, good job. You guys can go ahead and go put these in your mailboxes and head back to your seat. Thank you, guys.